Texting. How are your tits, America?
Mine are
anyway.
sitting pretty tonight.
Ample sustenance. Anyway.
You know, I try to keep my arm in front of my tits most nights. But
look,
as I talk,
it's tough to keep those rippling muscles in check.
Yeah.
It's tough. Trust me, Hercules couldn't do it. Why would you be any different?
Rippling C-cup monsters.
Yes.
Well, they could be D's.
I'm telling you. If Schwarzenegger, Izzo. I'm telling you. They got the same problem in life.
Schwarzenegger.
Anyway.
Nag.
Schwarzenegger. Arnold. Who has probably more one-liners. I'll be back. He's got a few.
It's not a tumor.
Get to the chopper.
It's not a tumor.
He's got some good ones. Him and Clint Eastwood are going neck and neck.
Okay, so what else? What
for Arnold?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I mean...
Anything from Twins?
Oh, there's a ton of them. And when he started singing
Pregnant.
Yakety Yak. Don't talk back.
Yakety Yak.
You don't scrub the kitchen floor. You can
Kindergarten,
rock and roll no more.
Kindergarten Cop was It's Not a Tumor. Anything else?
You're a funny guy, Sabi. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Mac,
That's from Commando. That's from Commando. Remember Commando with Ray, the blonde, the African American broad, Ray Dong. She's gorgeous. She was the flight attendant. They tried to get, and Alyssa Milano was his daughter.
I've never seen Commando.
Never? Oh, you just right there. You got to see it. Right there. Those three: Alyssa Milano, her, and him in his prime. And he's got 4 or 5 lines in that.
Who was the other woman?
Ray Dong Chong was her name.
Ray Dong Chong?
Yeah. She's African American, gorgeous girl, good actress. She's been in a lot of movies. This is one of her breakthrough because of that movie. Was
Commando.
Commando.
So does he walk around with no underwear on?
No.
Is that where the term Commando came from?
Although there is a scene where he's in nothing but the porn star bathing suit there. The banana, the speedo. There's one scene like that. Yeah, the banana hammock. But of course, he's ex-military. You know, he's strong enough to carry machine guns that usually reside on a chopper, and they're firing at villages. But he carries it with one arm and wipes out people with it. Because he's Arnold. Arnold can do shit like that. We digress. Anyway, welcome to IDD. For those of you in the know, I don't disagree. Segment 1, all things holy fuck preseason football.
Monday night preseason football.
A Bay Area, what do you call it? Because Baltimore and DC are very close. I'm surprised they're not more of a rival, but they're in different conferences. Probably what they're not.
I mean,
but those two cities could be.
That's a beltway brawl.
It could be a beltway brawl, and last night was just that.
Beltway barn burner.
If you didn't tune into that game last night, you actually missed something because, to his point, before we got on the air, that was the definition of Donny in the Brook. These two teams do not like each other, and they played like it. And it wasn't dirty. It wasn't dirty. No. It was physical, though, and it was they were trying to win that game. They both were trying to win that game.
Yeah. And I think what helped it was they had the joint practice all week,
where there were some fights.
So there
were some Donnies in the Brook.
I think I like that they did that this year. I know they typically do that. I thought they did that once. I thought each team did that
every year. And it's usually leading into a preseason game.
Right.
They have 1 week where they do 2 practices before that game.
But they've been doing it. I think it's happened multiple times.
Maybe,
maybe they just do it on different weeks because the Giants already practiced.
Yeah, the Patriots.
The Lions
were going to do the Titans until what's his name got hurt.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, which luckily he got out of the hospital and he's on the mend, which is good news. He's not paralyzed, thank God. But because
last night was awesome.
Last night was amazing, and I love the way that these teams went at each other. Because here's the thing, and I've been saying this all along. These guys are fighting for jobs, most of them. So whatever they got, you're going to get the best of it. And last night was what it really can look like when two teams whose players, half these guys are fighting for rough spots, and they play to their maximum level. You can get a game like this.
Yeah, they played well.
They both played well. And I'm like, you know what? And again, Baltimore was in the playoffs last year. Washington missed it by 1 game.
Missed it by a tie, basically.
By a tie, basically. So these weren't two.
I mean, not quite, but they were in it.
They were in it.
They tied the Giants, and the Giants beat them a couple weeks later.
Yeah. But they were in it in what ended up being the best division in football.
Yeah.
Because the NFC was that last year. Okay. So the thing is, to his point, right down to the wire, both sides. And Zay Flowers, the draft from he's for real, isn't it? BC.
He's a 1.
That kid's a 1. That kid right here.
And he didn't have Lamar thrown to him.
No, he didn't. But you saw his talent.
Yes.
And I this is where another Bill Belichick potential fuck up. Another guy he could have had. He was right there, and this is we'll get into the Patriots.
That guy looked real.
That guy is for real. And again, the only reason he slipped at all is because he kept getting hurt. But if you look at when he played,
he was hurt.
Yeah. That's
Where was
why
he? Boston?
Boston
College?
College. Yeah, and his last full season, he was like 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. But he kept getting hurt. But if you look at his average per game when he played, over 100 yards a game, I tell you, the dude's a stud.
Dude, looking at that offense last night and seeing, I mean, all that was out there was Zay Flowers.
Basically.
But when you think about Odell on the other side, Mark Andrews at the tight end, and then, I mean, their running backs always seem to get hurt.
Yeah.
And then Lamar on the field, too, with the contract, so there's no drama.
Lamar has weapons, like real
that
fucking
offense
weapons.
Could be really good.
He's got legit fucking weapons, and if they could make the playoffs without most of those weapons, what can they do with them?
If they're healthy, I think they might be the best team. I think they're better than Cincy.
I'm telling you right now, the AFC is loaded. It's loaded.
Maybe that's a dumb statement, but God, that offense could be great.
Again, Cincinnati has 3 stud receivers, and they've been in the Super Bowl already. KC is bad. I mean, this is look. Miami has these weapons. The Jets, this division, Pittsburgh. People are talking about Pittsburgh with 2 1,000-yard receivers. They'll tell you right now, and they've gotten Harris in the backfield. Pittsburgh and
Najee didn't do shit last year.
Yeah, because they couldn't throw. They're not putting 8 in the box this year. Not with those two. Good luck.
Who, they got Pickens and who?
DeAndre Johnson, who was a 1,000-yard receiver. He's the one. They've got 2 number 1s in Pittsburgh now. This kid who was runner-up rookie of the year last year, he had 800 yards in his rookie year with a rookie quarterback. That kid's going to be better too.
And he wasn't even the whole year rookie because wasn't Trubisky part of the year?
Yep. He didn't even play the whole year. This is the thing.
All right, it's going to be annoying if Pittsburgh's good again. Isn't it annoying when Pittsburgh is good?
Look, as a Pats fan, there's 2 teams with 6 Super Bowls, and they're the other one. Do I want Pittsburgh to be good? No, I do not.
It's like Green Bay. Pittsburgh is Green Bay of the AFC East. I mean, of the AFC. Sorry, I didn't mean AFC East. They're just like. It seems like they're always good.
They're a historical franchise, and look, let's be honest here. And he doesn't want to hear this, but it's true. Just like with the Cowboys, the league is better when those teams are good.
It's true.
I don't like the Cowboys anymore.
Well, the league's better when all the big market teams are good.
They're all there. So this isn't going to hurt. It's going to affect you. You're in the NFC. But the bottom line is it's going to affect me, okay? But look, Mike Tomlin.
Did you play the Steelers this year?
No, we don't face them. We don't. But the thing is, we play the NFC East, which is loaded.
What AFC league do you play? Or division?
I think it's the West.
Is it the West? So that means we probably play the NFC West.
Yeah. I think it's the West. I'll tell you right now. But anyway, look, the thing is, I mean, I said this on there before that the AFC was 11, 12 teams deep. Everybody thought I was crazy. But then you look at these divisions, and the only cupcakes.
Too bad.
Only cupcakes are in the AFC South. I'm not making that up. The Texans and the Colts. Are the only 2 cupcakes in this conference.
And if those quarterbacks play good, you never know.
You never know. So. But
because
again,
they both lost close games last year.
Yes, they did. I mean, the Raiders, who everybody are laughing at. Remember how we talking about how Minnesota won 9 one-score games? The Raiders lost 9 one-score games.
So
you literally could have flipped. You could have flipped that very easily. And how many leads did we see them blow in the second half? The Raiders. They had the lead in the second half.
That's because of Derek Carr.
I know, but they had leads. They just couldn't sustain them. They were in all those games.
Problem is, Jimmy G's going to play 8 games. They're going to look good. He's going to go down.
Yep.
And then who's behind him?
I don't know. I don't know who the backup is.
I mean, that offense, they have weapons. They've got weapons. Although they got rid of Waller. I think they might have drafted a tight end.
They did draft a tight end. But the thing is, they've got Renfro, they've got Adams. Yeah. And by the way, Jacoby Jacobs there, whatever his name is?
Josh Jacobs.
He ended his holdout, I guess.
Oh, he came in?
I think he came in, yeah.
Good. I wish he did that sooner.
Well, he figured out that no one's going to pay me.
I know, it sucks.
So I might as well not. I might as well get something out of it and not lower my value, because if he doesn't play, his number only goes down.
At least he hadn't signed yet, so he didn't.
Well,
lose
he got the
money.
He didn't franchise tag,
right? But because he hadn't signed it, he wasn't fined. You know.
No, exactly.
Whereas Zach Martin in Dallas, he's losing 50 G's a day.
Well, didn't he finally come in?
Did Zach Martin come in?
Yeah, he came in. Yeah,
when the fuck did that happen?
The other day. Over the weekend, I think he came in. I'm pretty certain. I remember that. He finally came into camp.
All right, but before we forget.
Yeah.
in the Commanders game.
Yeah.
So, did you see the hit on that 2-point conversion attempt?
I did.
When the Commanders were about to tie the game?
Oh, yeah.
And or they might have been trying to take the lead.
Yeah.
They threw a little, a little floater to the running back out of the backfield, and he got blew up.
He got rocked.
That was awesome.
He got rocked.
Josh Johnson, the guy who came in third string for the Niners against the Eagles in the championship game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember?
Yep, do.
He was throwing TDs all over the place.
I'm saying they look. I mean,
he threw a couple of tight end, and it wasn't Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
it was another mammoth beast of a man.
Yeah.
Did you see their backup tight end?
Yeah.
Enormous.
Baltimore has this thing about enormous lumberjack style.
What, they had Heap? They went from Heap to Andrews.
Yeah, they did. And,
I mean, big freaking
the Patriots
dudes.
actually do play Pittsburgh this year at Pittsburgh.
It will be.
And it's late in the season. But they got the West. They got Denver. They've got. I saw them. They're at Vegas. They've got. Who the hell else do they have? I saw them. They've got Indy. This is kind of a weird schedule because they don't play
is that
another.
The South or the West?
Well, Indy's the South.
Because there's 17
KC and
games.
Denver are the West. Pittsburgh is the North.
Well, so you play a team from every division where in the spot that you finished in.
I guess must be what it is.
And then you play an entire division, and then because of the 17th game, there's also an oddball.
Well, that must be the Colts.
Right.
I don't know why
exactly.
they're playing the Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not complaining. They got them at home. But, I mean.
That's probably the oddball.
That's probably the oddball. But, I mean, look, that conference is 12 deep, 12 or 13 deep. I'm not fucking around when I say that. And only 7 of them are going to get in.
And the NFC is not
12 deep.
No.
It's
what
not.
are they, 7?
I would say they're 8, potentially.
And only 7 get in?
Yeah, I'd say they're 8, and the 8th team at this point. And again, this is.
Could be the Commanders.
It could be the Commanders. This division, again, is loaded.
It's tough to gauge Sam Howell because he looked nice last night.
Yeah.
Now, that was against backups.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to look at,
He looked good, though.
If you're legit, you should look legit against backups, and he did. If he struggled against backups, then
right, no, I know, but you wouldn't.
So,
but you don't know if Baltimore had their first team D in there. What's it look like?
Well, he didn't. Did all of the Commanders starters play on offense? Did the whole offensive
Samuel
line?
might not have played. I don't know about the line.
I don't think they had everybody out
there. I thought
either.
the line was out there. Terry McLaurin was playing.
Yeah, he played.
He hurt himself. Which
yeah,
sucks.
Yeah. How bad was it though?
It says a sprained toe, but I mean, toes can linger.
You've got 3 weeks to the opener.
You better sit his
He
ass
won't
down.
play until
he
he
won't even practice.
He won't, and he should because he's proven. He doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't need to. He doesn't need reps.
No.
He needs to be 100%. So, I mean, but there are guys like that need to play.
If I'm a Ravens fan, though, I'm excited.
You should be. The Ravens fans should be very excited because you have a passing game.
Right. A legitimate
and you have
passing
never
game.
had one. Okay?
Well, they never opened it up for Lamar. Maybe because he didn't have enough weapons.
He didn't have enough weapons. He had one legit weapon.
But it was all
Andrews.
RPO. Everything was.
But now, here's the thing, and this is where hopefully Lamar Jackson gets smart. Because if he wants to extend his career, this is how you do it. He's got to learn to spend more time in the pocket. Now, before he didn't have that chance because they didn't have the weapons. Now they do. So he needs to run less. I'm not saying he still doesn't run. That's a threat. He needs to use it. But now he's got to be smart about it. He's got to use it when he has to use it, not just because he has no other choice. Because now he does have other choices. And by the way, those choices could prolong his career.
He has 3 legitimate passing options.
Yes, he does.
Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, and Mark Andrews.
Yep. Now, the only problem...
if none of them are open, goodbye.
Then he can run. But I'm saying he actually has 3 guys that can win on their assignment.
Right.
And there aren't many teams that have 3 guys that can win. You don't. I'm thinking...
You probably have to double Mark
Cincinnati
Andrews.
has 3. Seattle has 3. San Francisco with Kittles and Ayuk and San Debo, they got 3. The Jets have a couple. Miami has 2 definite. 2 definite.
I mean, the Jets,
they're out of
Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis. Their running back situation is pretty nice on the Jets.
It is. And it is and again. So the thing is,
I'm interested in the Jets preseason.
By the way,
against the Giants, Rodgers is playing.
By the way, I don't know if you saw this yesterday. You should be very, very, very encouraged. Because Dan Orlovsky, the one guy that, when it comes to offense, I listen to on ESPN, broke down the G-men and their newfound passing attack. And
it's dirty.
He was gushing over how they, and this is just preseason, mind you, but Brian Daboll was in Buffalo and New England. He knows how to use weapons and offenses and things like that. He's had Brady. He's had Josh Allen. He knows how to use weapons. They had this tight end Waller split out as a wide out. They had him, and you should have seen how they used him. And this was just a preseason game. And Dan Orlovsky was foaming at the mouth going, do you understand? And he was talking about the kid who won the Blitnikoff Award, too. He's like, what the Giants...
he caught a 33-yard touchdown.
Yeah, he said. He's like, the Giants are marketably better in the passing game. And he's like, if you think they're not going to be better this year when they were in the Final Eight last year without anywhere near this kind of a passing attack, you're crazy. And I've been saying it, and now somebody who gets paid to say it is saying it. So I'm not nuts. But he broke down film with these two guys, and you should be very, very excited because looks like because Brian Daboll is he's just like the Pats guy, O'Brien. He knows how to use these guys. Yeah. He knows how to use them. He knows how to take the talent he has and formulate an offense. Now he's got real weapons in the passing game. And Danny Dimes is an accurate passer, and now he's going to have more weapons, which is going to open things up for Saquon Barkley. They're going to be a lot more difficult to defend this year.
The other thing that I think makes the Giants much better
if I'm the Cowboys, I'm worried.
Center. Their rookie center is legit. Mm-hmm. John Michael Schmitz, I think his name is.
John Jingle Jack Ohio Schmidt.
JMS.
Yep.
You put a stud in there, can't be worse than last year.
No.
Their right tackle, he's in his second year. Mm-hmm. Doesn't necessarily mean he'll be better, but you would think.
Logic suggests.
Right, there's growth there.
It's called ascension.
Right.
Ascending.
But the other night, Darren Waller had like 3 catches for 30 yards in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like bing, boom, boom.
Yep.
And then they brought in the other tight end.
Bellinger,
from the 5-yard line.
Yep.
Waller slanted in.
Yep.
All the coverage went there, and then boop to Bellinger.
And Orlovsky broke this down, by the way.
So that's using your weapons.
I'm telling you, and they've got Slayton still running around out there. They've got weapons. They've got
this kid
options.
Paris Campbell from Indianapolis, who everybody says
he's good,
is a burner, he had who throwing him the ball last year in Indy?
Nobody,
right?
Because they had no line. Matt Ryan spent the year on his back. Yeah. Because, first of all, Jonathan Taylor got hurt in the first month of the season. There goes their running game. Whoa. Now the defense knows there's no running game. So what happens to Matt Ryan? They pin their ears back, and he gets destroyed. Yeah. And then everyone blames Matt Ryan. I'm like, Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. But if you take away a guy's running game, look what happened to Brady last year when he lost his line. That's Tom fucking Brady. Look what happened to Mahomes in the Super Bowl when he lost 2 tackles. He couldn't do a fucking thing.
Can't do anything.
I don't care who the quarterback is. If you don't have a line and the threat of a running game, you are a sitting duck.
Yeah.
You're a sitting duck when the defense knows what's coming. They're too fast. They're too fucking fast. Your only way around that is to have guys on the outside where you get the ball up quick. And the Colts had maybe one guy, the guy that you now have, that could do that. Yeah. So the thing is this, they've got a lot more weapons in the passing game to complement this running game with Saquon. Teams are not going to be able to put 8 in the box against them, which is going to be a problem.
Yeah, all that,
it's
and we
going to be a
didn't even
problem.
say anything about Saquon.
No, we didn't even get to him. The point is that the Giants now have a passing attack to match their running attack.
Yep.
And they've got 2 running backs, one of which is a quarterback.
Yep.
Okay, they're going to be a problem.
They've got to trust Daniel Jones, and he has to trust himself.
He did it last year.
Yeah. No, but I mean, now that you've got the passing attack, throw the fucking ball.
No, he doesn't. He's not going to have, just like Lamar, he's not going to have to run as much. But I'll tell you this right now, Mr. Philadelphia fanatic, Joe Russell, where do you see this kid with weapons? Now you can actually evaluate this kid. Okay, now he's got weapons. And I keep going back to his boy, Jalen Hurts. What happened when he got 2 number ones? He went from, I don't know if this is the guy, to holy fuck, he outplayed this guy in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Look at Tua before fucking Waddle. Now look at Tua. He's an MVP guy. There's no fucking coincidence.
But another thing about Hurts, he's got the best offensive line in football. There are not too many lines that compare to that line.
He is just like Dak Prescott. He has everything he needs to win.
But to Hurts' credit, he's balling the fuck
They
out.
got to the Super Bowl.
I mean,
Dak Prescott can't get past the second round.
Exactly.
Okay?
It's true. They are kind of built like Dallas.
They're built very similar to Dallas.
They are.
This is why I'm always on my brother about Dak Prescott. And by the way, Eric, God love him, has been saying this since I met him, that Dak was not the guy. He's been saying it for 5 years. And he's been right.
I believed in Dak until last year. Because here's the thing. I like the way he carries himself. I think
he says and does all the right things.
Right, he really does. And when they were on Hard Knocks, and I saw the way he was with the team, and I know all that show, but from the outside looking in, he looks like a good guy. He looks like I would want that guy leading my team. But then in game, some of the shit he does is like, you're better than that.
He has not learned to throw the ball away and live to fight another day. And by the way, to be fair to him, that's the hardest thing for a quarterback to learn. Because especially your instinct, especially when you're talented, because your instinct is, I got to make a play. I can make a play. That's why I'm sitting. Sometimes the play is to just throw it away. And don't put your defense in a bad spot. Or don't kill a drive.
Yeah.
Sometimes the smart play is the play, the safe play. And it's not always going to move the chains. It's not always going to get on SportsCenter. But you know what it's going to do? It's going to give you another set of downs.
Yeah.
It's not going to put your defense on the 30 because you threw a pick that went back 40 yards the other way.
Dude, but last year, some of those mistakes weren't even like...
They were bad.
It wasn't even like he was taking a risk. Like,
they were bad.
That was just a pathetic... Like, dude, I can't remember what game it was where he almost threw a pick six, came back on the next play. I think it was against Washington.
It was Washington.
And then threw the same fucking pass, and it was a pick six. Like,
no,
the fuck are you doing?
He's up here in terms of reading defenses. I don't know about it.
It seems like he's regressed.
And the thing is, well...
He's regressed.
He lost Amari Cooper. Okay, they didn't replace him. Did they still have enough to win last year? Yeah, they did. But the thing
is really talented.
They added CeeDee's a 1.
And he had a tight end.
CeeDee is a top 10 receiver in this league.
He had a great
They added Cooks, he's a walking 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah.
The guy's been like a 1,000-yard receiver in 5 different systems.
Doesn't matter what offense.
Doesn't matter what offense you put this guy in, he's a walking 1,000 yards.
And people are just like, yeah, go ahead. You can
the Patriots had him, went to Super Bowl, gave him up. Like, what the fuck? I mean, again, we beat the Rams without him. He got hurt. He didn't play, but he got a ring. And then don't keep him. I'm like, why would you not? Keep the guy. He's a walking 1,000-yard receiver. I still understand why Belichick let that happen, but that's Belichick for you. That wasn't a smart move on his part either. Right. So hopefully Dallas will use him and keep him because he gives you a legit weapon on the other side. But Dak's got to play smarter.
Yeah.
It's not. They did not lose because of defense. They did not. They were in the top 5 in offense the past 2 years. They did not lose because of their offense. They lost because of his decision making.
Yeah.
That's it, and that's all.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
In big spots.
Yeah. Okay? Those 2 turnovers against San Francisco killed them.
And so many throws in that game were like, he had CD streaking down the sideline one time.
San Fran could have picked him
10
off.
Yards short.
Could have picked him off 5 times in that game. They dropped 2 other ones.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who's their offensive coordinator this year?
Who, Dallas?
Yeah.
McCarty.
Oh, he's calling. McCarthy? So they let Kellen Moore go.
Yeah, he's in LA with the Chargers.
Diego, right?
The Chargers.
Oh, LA, yeah.
Yeah, LA.
I think McCarthy's got to get in Dak's ass. I don't think he's had a coordinator that does that.
Dak Prescott has run out of excuses.
I know. McCarthy needs to get in his ass.
I don't believe it was the offensive coordinator's fault last year.
No.
I don't believe it was. How can they be in the top 5 in offense and you're telling me the coordinator stinks?
No,
that makes no fucking sense.
That's not
to
what
me.
I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say that. But I think Dak might need to be pushed a little more because I think he's better than he's been playing. Maybe I'm wrong, but
you could be right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in those practices.
They beat the Giants like 4 years in a row, so I always get a different perspective on them. But maybe that's just how bad the Giants' D has been.
He has been there, 9 years?
That sounds right.
I can't think of a year when he didn't have enough around him to win.
Dude, they always have stars.
They always have
talent.
They've always been good, just never quite good enough.
And
no one can put their finger on it.
Jerry Jones' son has been drafting well.
Yep.
Since he's been drafting. I mean, they have had a good offensive line for how fucking long?
If you take Dallas's roster 1 through 45, you can put it up against anybody in the league from a talent perspective.
And O-line, D-line too.
Yeah, you can. You can put it up.
O-line, D-line.
You can put Dallas's roster up against any roster in this league, and it matches up. They're not going to lose because of talent. Let's be very clear. The Cowboys are not going to lose because the team was just flat out more talented. That's not going to happen. Okay? Dak Prescott needs to start playing like an elite quarterback up here. And again, that means playing smart, protecting the football. And again, they're saying last year was the outlier. He's never thrown that many interceptions, blah, 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 all that crap. Well, the year before that, he didn't know the fucking rule and didn't get his leg down, didn't slide at the right time. Yeah. So he up again. It's up here with him.
It's you know what it's reminding me of?
Was that the offensive coordinator's fault too?
You know what it's reminding me of? It's very Romo-esque.
Yes, it is.
Like stat-wise, you look at the stat. Now, last year you look at stats, it's bad, but typically,
how do you miss 5 games and lead the NFL in interceptions?
I know.
With the weapons he has.
I know.
Like that's got that. If he had Danny Dimes, if he had what Danny Dimes had last year, that I could understand.
Right.
But he doesn't.
And Dimes
was more efficient than he was.
Well, he had the best pick to
touchdown interception
right.
ratio.
I mean, he
he
didn't throw a lot of touchdowns, but he barely threw any picks.
He had no one to throw to, but Slayton.
He was a good decision maker last year.
No, he took care of the ball. They used his legs. He became a second running back. That's what Dayball does. He could whatever talent. This is why I love O'Brien in Foxborough, because he'll take whatever talent he has and he'll find a way to make it work.
This is how we have to win.
This is how we have to win based on our talent. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain this. This is 22 years of coaching talking. A good coach adapts to his or her talent. He doesn't ask them to do things they can't do. What they do is they put them in situations to take advantage of what they do. And that's what Dayball did last year, and that's what O'Brien will do this year in Foxborough, which brings us to the Patriots. And by the way, they're going to carry 6 receivers, and they fucking better carry 6 receivers. Do you have it in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it in here? I don't know if
I mean, just a regular diet's fine, too.
I think we're out of those.
You have Diet Pepsi?
Yeah.
Oh, give me one of Joel's 20-ounce Cokes.
Oh,
thanks, Joel. I love
Thanks,
you.
Joel.
Love you, bro.
Thanks, Joel. So the Patriots are going to carry. It looks like they're talking. They were doing the 53-man roster today, and this is all speculation, of course.
Who are the 6? Can you name them?
Yeah, I can name all 6 of them. So you got Juju Smith-Schuster, you've got Parker, you've got Kendrick Bourne, who's had a hell of a camp, by the way.
Who's Parker?
Kendrick Bourne.
Help me out.
Devontae Parker from Miami.
Okay. That's the guy that Joel likes.
Yeah, who had a 1,000-yard season in Miami, and he was the number 1, but he couldn't stay healthy. Now he's in New England. He's all of 29 years old, and he hasn't been healthy. And when he is healthy, he produces. So they gave him a 3-year deal at $11 million, short money. They got Juju on a 3-year deal. Kendrick Bourne, who's in a contract year, has looked the best he's looked since they got here, and he's an outside threat.
Who is he?
He was in the 2 years ago when they made the big splash money-wise. He came over with Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne. He was one of them.
But he hasn't been healthy or what?
No, his first year he had 900 yards and 6 touchdowns. That was Mac's rookie year, and Mac made the Pro Bowl. And he had a good first year with a rookie. And again, I don't think McDaniels utilized him as well as he could have. O'Brien will. So they got those 3. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting.
So those are the starters?
Those are probably the starters. Now here's where it gets interesting. Demario Douglas, this 5'8", Troy Brown meets Wes Welker meets Julian Edelman dude, who everybody says has been the best receiver in camp.
6th-round pick?
Yep.
Best receiver in camp.
Best receiver in camp. And the first 3...
like a Santana Moss
the first 3 I mentioned have all had a good camp. All of them. Okay? He's been better than all of them. No one can cover this guy in the slot.
Well, you gotta keep
No one can cover him in the slot. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. It doesn't matter. He gets open.
What's his name? Demario Douglas?
Demario Douglas. He is 5'8.5". He's quick as a cat. He's a lot like Edelman and Welker and Brown, which those guys are the hardest to cover because they get in space and they make you miss, and they can outrun you. And by the way, because they draw the 3rd or 4th cornerback, which he will, that's the guy they can abuse.
Right.
Okay.
And then if they try to switch somebody to him.
Yep.
Now you're leaving the number 1.
They got 2 legit tight ends, Hunter Henry and Gesicki. And everybody said Gesicki before he got hurt was having a great camp, but he should be back for the opener.
Oh, he got hurt?
He got hurt. Yeah, he had a shoulder injury, but it's not. They think he's going to be back for the opener. They're keeping him out as a precaution. Okay, those are the tight ends. So this kid, this Demario Douglas is number 4. Now you've got this kid Butte from LSU, who everybody was saying, and Ryan Clark, by the way, talked about him on NFL Live today. Going
Butte with a little.
Yeah, Butte, whatever his name. Yeah. This dude's been amazing. He scored a touchdown against the Packers.
Keyshawn.
Yeah, this kid was supposed to be a 1st-round pick, but he kept getting hurt. But at
so
LSU,
they picked him this year?
Yeah, in the 6th. He's on the 6th. Both these guys came in the 6th round.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember we were
him. He's 5th, and Tyquan Thornton, who can't stay healthy, is number 6.
Is he hurt again?
Yeah, he got hurt in practice after that game, so he didn't play against Green Bay. I don't know if he's going to play this week, but they're saying they're going to keep 6 because he's only in his second year. You don't dump a guy with a 4.24 speed who can catch the ball.
Yeah, that's.
And he's only in his second year. You don't cut that guy. That's stupid. How many 4.2 guys are out there? I can tell you at one hand how many there are. Yeah. Okay, and he's 6'2.5", and whenever he does get on the field, he gets open and he catches the fucking ball. So you don't get rid of the kid. You just got to stay healthy.
Did he get hurt in the game where he made that
catch? No, he got hurt in practice.
No, he got hurt in practice. Fuck. I'm looking at a video of these guys.
Yeah. So
they got Boot and
Boot and Demario Douglas.
Yeah, and Demario Douglas.
I'm telling you, look, this is not sexy, but it's got teeth. Okay.
Demario Douglas, well, only 5'8". He's pretty thick.
He's pretty thick.
He's 192. That's solid as shit.
He's thick. He looks like.
So he's not a guy that can't take a beating.
No, but he's also a guy that can run away from the beating.
Well, he's the one that puts the 2 steps and then you're the other way.
You spin the other way.
Right.
So they've got a lot of interesting pieces in this passing game. I think they should keep 6 for one simple reason. Because these guys keep getting fucking hurt. If you dump one of them, you're going to be looking for one of them in 4 weeks probably anyway. Because we don't know. Pick them up, so in a passing league, carrying 6 receivers makes the most sense. Because you're going to be in 3 receiver sets pretty much all season. So the odds of one of them getting hurt is very high. Not as high as a running back.
You could use one of those for punt returns.
Of course you can.
Now that's always risky because it always seems like a receiver gets hurt when he returns a punt. Where like you bring a corner in or something.
That's
and they get
Tyquan
hurt.
Thornton as your 6th guy, or this kid Butte or whoever. Fine.
Yeah,
but they're on the roster, and you can put them on the practice squad. But I'm saying you should carry 6 actively because you're never going to know. But you're going to need this kind of speed on the outside. And these 3 guys, here's the one thing about all 3 of them. They're quick. They're fast. They're fast and they're quick, and they can get open.
That's what you need.
That's what you need. Okay? So you've got guys that can win the 50-50 ball. That's Schuster. That's Devontae Parker. That's Kendrick Bourne. And then they got 3 guys that can just get open. So why not carry 6?
I'm still a little worried about Mac.
I'm worried about Mac from the perspective of the offensive line, which is just highly rated, but they've got to get. And by the way,
why are you worried about the line?
Well, I'm not so much anymore because there was encouraging news the other day. They played this kid who's normally a tackle at guard. He played 31 passing downs, 31 pass attempts. He was on the field, didn't even give up a single quarterback pressure, no penalties.
Love seeing that.
If he can do that, then they got this guy Oweno, who plays tackle. That's his natural position. At right tackle. They can move because they had him sliding in as the guard spot because they couldn't find a guard.
Okay.
So they can put him back to his natural position, which is right tackle, and they'll have their starting 5. And that's a solid starting 5. The center is legit, the left tackle is legit, the left guard is legit. If this happens, they've got their front 5. Now it's about backfilling over the past 2 weeks to get some depth.
Yeah.
And if they do that, they should be fine. They will put, and again, Philly's got a great front 4. They will be in shotgun. And this is the other thing.
What's his face is coming off Riddick has the thumb surgery.
Yeah.
That could
hurt.
That's in your favor.
That could hurt them. I was laughing at Good Morning Football because they were doing a thing about Belichick. Because of course Belichick was singing Brady's praises, saying how one night's not enough for what he's done to tribute, and he's right. It isn't enough. But they were saying, why would you pick the Eagles game? This one idiot who doesn't study at all. Absolutely doesn't study. He's just a face with hair, and he's funny. Well, I would.
The guy with the
white dude,
the soppet lolly face.
He's just a clown. And he's like, I wouldn't pick that game. This might be over by the second quarter. Like, really?
Maybe they give him some juice.
With a top 6 defense? Really? Gonna be over in the second quarter, huh? Okay. All right. I got news for you. That, and by the way, Devin McCourty is on this panel. I guarantee you that take went right to the Patriots locker room.
What is the Pats secondary like?
The number 1 pick, Gonzalez, Duggar, the other kid's Sam on the other side. Their secondary is very good. They replaced McCourty with this number 1 pick, Gonzalez.
Well, and you have a good line, which helps.
The front
secondary.
7 is loaded. Keon White, the 6'5", 295 defensive end, was running over people in the front. They got that kid off the edge. Keon White, the kid from the rookie. He's fat. The 6'5", 290 pass rusher off the edge, who was causing all those problems in the first. He's
Where
all
was
over.
he?
He plays right end.
No, but where did he go to school?
I think it was Georgia Tech or something. I forget. I can.
So you just drafted him this year.
Hi. And Mapu Marte, the guy who plays safety, linebacker, and pass rusher.
That's right.
I mean, they got all these moving parts, and it's all speed. And then there's Matt Judon and Uche.
Those guys.
There's those two guys.
Those guys are monsters.
Who had 27 sacks between them. Okay, so
those guys are monsters.
They're going to give people fits on defense, and actually it was Keon White, Georgia Tech defensive end. He was the second pick. So their first 3 picks. Ready for this? Gonzalez, number 1 cornerback, Oregon. Keon White, number 1 defensive end rusher off of Georgia Tech. Marte Mapu. Out of Sacramento State, the guy who plays 3 That's the guy who plays 3 positions. That was their first 3 picks. So,
and they're all going to be in the starting defense?
Yep. And then they got Demario Douglas and Butte in the 6th round, these receivers. So
you can't go.
Oh, there goes Patrice. You can't.
Man, that scared the shit out of me.
Didn't it? Sorry, Patrice.
Dude, you can't go wrong picking LSU receivers.
Usually no. And this kid was slated as a 1st-round pick until he got hurt. So, and
go either way.
Well, no, but what's his name?
Ryan
Clark. Again, he's biased. He's LSU, but he's been watching this kid all camp. But he's been at the Patriots camp.
Oh yeah.
He's been watching them. He goes, look, if this kid gets into this lineup, look out.
Yeah.
If he makes this roster, and there's a good chance he's going to, look out. Because honestly, nobody in the SEC could defend him.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. If you can get open in the SEC, you could pretty much get open anywhere. Because, by the way, the guys you're facing in the NFL pretty much all came out of the SEC anyway. So that's the thing. The talent is there. This is all up to Bill O'Brien to figure out how to use it. I'm so glad it's Bill O'Brien, more so than Josh McDaniel, more so than Charlie Weiss would be the only other name I'd be excited about because Charlie Weiss would know what to do with this.
Oh, God, get out of here.
What, Charlie Weiss?
Can't stand him.
As an offensive coordinator, he was brilliant. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say he wasn't because I don't know.
He was.
I hated hearing in interviews. He was always such a prick, especially when he was at Notre Dame.
Oh,
he was prick of the century.
He's a Bill Parcells guy.
Right. No, you're right.
They're all fucking pricks.
I know. Bill
you name me a guy off that tree. Yeah, you name me a guy off that tree that isn't a prick. They're all fucking prick. Belichick's a prick. Coughlin's a prick. They're all fucking pricks.
Right.
It's prick central. Okay? Seriously.
Dayball, though?
Dayball's a prick, too.
Is he a prick?
Yeah, he's a prick.
But he seems...
Compared to the others.
Yeah, he's a little
He's not
different.
as bad as the others.
But
is he a prick?
Well,
yes,
it's funny because
he's a
they were
prick.
talking to Joe Shane, Giants GM, and they were like, he seems a little more relaxed this year. And Shane's like, no. He's not relaxed.
Have you looked at that man's face?
Dude,
have you ever seen him
when he gets pissed, he's scared.
He looks like he could, in 2 seconds, go from 0 to 100.
Exactly.
He literally looks like that dude.
He's got those stone eyes where it's just like all of a sudden he's mad as fuck.
If you're in that media and you ask the wrong question, he could Bill Parcells you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He would, too. He probably would.
Just
make
big.
you feel like you don't belong in that room.
Yep.
Like, how did you get in here? Who hired you? Boy,
I'm looking for pictures of Tua's neck because I was talking to a guy that I worked with today.
Tua Tagovailoa?
Yes, I was talking to a guy today who was talking about how good.
I'm going to pick up Patrice while he's talking.
Sure. Who was talking about how good the Dolphins are going to be, and I'm like, dude, I don't see it. I'm scared he's going to go down immediately, and he's like, oh man, they built up his neck. His neck looks huge now.
There are 2 problems with the Dolphins. One,
they did
not address the offensive line.
Dude, remember when we went through there? We're like, let's see what they did in the draft.
Seventh round was the first time. And then he went through, we found the list of journeymen they brought in.
Yeah, they picked
not
up
one
2 or
Pro
3
Bowler in the
guys.
group. They're all just a bunch of journeyman grass feeders who they graze for a while. They get in as backups. They're there because of injuries, and they still last. They just move on to another team.
They're there because everybody needs O-linemen.
Yeah. But there's nothing special about them.
When you've got a franchise quarterback who's shown you when he is healthy, you're a top 5 team in the league.
Yeah. But here's the other problem.
And you don't build an offensive line around
the Dolphins' secondary is Swiss cheese.
Their whole defense is...
It's average. They got them ranked at 11. That's more because of the company they keep.
But that's how good their offense is.
Yeah. But, I got news for you. If they can't stop nobody...
Yeah, that's going to hurt.
Then they're going to have a problem because this kid's going to have to drop back a lot more than they want him to, which is going to expose him to problems with this backfilled, very below average offensive line, which, by the way, is the Jets' problem. Okay, but the Jets have a top 5 defense, and they have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers will get the ball up before he gets killed.
And the Jets have tried to address the O-line.
They have.
They drafted a center.
They did.
They drafted an O-lineman, I think, 2 years ago in the first or second round.
Yeah. Well, they've missed.
Mekhi Becton is playing better. Mm-hmm. Did you see him the other night?
Yeah, I did.
They put him in at right tackle. Yeah. I don't think he gave up a single pressure. Yeah. They're starting him against the Giants this weekend, which is a good test for him.
Sure.
Because Giants D-line isn't insane, but
it's good.
Their interior defensive line.
Good. It's solid.
Their interior defensive line is better than solid.
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good.
Okay.
But their edges, they don't get a ton. Rushing. They don't get a ton off the edge.
No, they don't got a Judon or Nuchin
right
there. No, they don't.
So we'll see what Becton does. Because if he can play good, that bodes well for the Jets.
It does. It does. But I'm saying the left side of that line. Good luck. Good luck with this schedule, with the front sevens you're going to be facing. Mr. Rodgers had better be getting the ball like Tom Brady because he's not going to have time to look downfield.
No,
he's not. And which brings us to Buffalo, who we confirmed again today, Mr. Stephen A. Smith and his sources, that he doesn't want to be there.
Stephon.
And by the way, that is the last thing Buffalo needs going into a Monday night game at New York to face the Jets. That is the last fucking thing.
Jets they are going to.
This is going to get talked about. Well, if the Jets beat them at home, it's no big shakes because the Jets beat them last year.
No, it's big.
The Jets are supposed to win this game.
Jets.
It's big for the Jets, but I think the Jets are supposed to beat them anyway because the Jets beat them last year.
With Zach fucking Wilson.
Yeah, I think the Jets are still better than them. But the point is, the last thing Buffalo needs is a fucking controversy between their two best. And again, I don't know who's pissed at who here, but Diggs wants out. He wants out.
That's so silly.
And if I am the Chicago Bears, I am kicking the tires on this like you fucking read about.
DJ Moore and Stephon Diggs.
If I am the Chicago Bears, I am kicking the tires on this.
What are you going to give them?
Whatever the fuck they want. You think about you put him with Moore on the kid from Carolina on the other side, Chicago. Oh yeah, you got something.
Well, so Chicago. How many picks did Chicago get from Carolina?
A lot.
Were they all in this year's draft?
No, they were spread out, I think.
Because that's an interesting thought.
If I'm Chicago, I'll give them a first-round pick for him right now.
Oh,
in a fucking heartbeat.
You have to give up more than that.
He's not a quarterback.
I know, but you probably have to give a 1 and a 2, which I would.
A 1 would be a straight up. You're not gonna get a 1 and a 2. Maybe a 1 and a 4. I don't want it. You're not gonna get 1 first and second for this guy. Maybe a 1 and a 4 or a 1
prime,
and a,
isn't he? Is he passed?
No, he's in his prime, but he's in his prime now. He's not. He's gonna. I think he's 29 years old.
Taper off in
he's
a couple years.
He's got probably 3 more years. But if you're Chicago,
dude, but with that,
if you're Chicago,
might be worth it.
It is worth it. And then if I'm also Chicago, I'm calling Indianapolis.
But if you were the Bills getting back a first round pick, you're not gonna
if
win
the guy is
no
not
shot of
happy,
winning that division.
They're not winning this division anyway.
With Stephon Diggs, they have a much better shot.
They have the 3rd best defense. They have no running attack. Okay, and after Diggs, the drop off at receiver is significant. Josh Allen is talk about 1 hit away. Josh Allen, who's stupid enough to keep playing to be Superman. Hey, see Cam Newton, Josh Allen.
Didn't they draft a big tight end? I feel like they did.
Let me see who they drafted.
They should have went running back.
I would say, hold on. You might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I think they might have drafted that Kincaid kid, but I can't remember if that was them or somebody else.
Kincaid character. Yep, Kincaid from Utah. They drafted a guard, 2nd from Florida. They drafted a linebacker from Tulane, a receiver from Florida, another lineman from Ole Miss, and a cornerback from Oregon State. So Kincaid, I think is legit. The tight end from Utah is legit.
And then you go O-line 2nd round. That's usually going to help your football team.
Well,
especially against all these D-lines in the freaking AFC East.
Usually the top 3 rounds in the NFL draft are loaded with talent. Anybody in the top 3 is a very talented player. But look, the thing is, Buffalo's going the wrong way here. They're going the wrong way.
That's where they're going.
And by the way, Stephon Diggs, according to Stephen A. Smith, believes the team has missed its window to win. That's pretty bad when your number 1 receiver feels that way. And by the way, he's in the locker room, boys and girls. I'm not. You're not.
Why is he
Stephen
saying,
A is not.
Why is he saying all this shit? Like, come on, dude.
It's called forcing your way out. Because if he is saying that shit, he's openly forcing his way out.
I wouldn't want him then.
Depends on who you are.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Depends on who you are.
You're right.
And by the way, if he goes to Chicago, the AFC's wide open. I mean, other than
I know,
Philly,
but
you
bring
Philly and
him in to
San
play with a
Fran.
rookie quarter.
He's
not
not a rookie
that he's a
quarterback.
rookie,
He's in his
but
third year.
he didn't even play a full year last year.
Yeah, but he didn't have. He's never had like your boy. Never had any weapons in the passing game. Now you put him with more on the other side.
Dude, he had Chase Claypool last year.
Who? Who?
Didn't he have Claypool?
Who?
I was kidding.
I'm not. Who? The bottom line is, you put him with DJ Moore, and that's an awesome one too. If you're Chicago, it really is.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if I'm Chicago, I'm kicking the tires on this. What the fuck you got to lose?
I mean, Chicago right now is DJ Moore and Claypool as their two. That's pretty good right there.
Yeah, you bring in Diggs, and now he's a 3.
Well, that would be
That outstanding. Yeah, I'm just saying. And if you're Buffalo, he goes to the other conference, so it doesn't hurt you. You get a number 1 pick, a first-round pick for him. If you're gonna lose him, get a first-round pick for him.
Yeah.
I mean, at least get something. Because I mean, look at if he's not happy, they're fucked. They're fucked.
Yeah,
I don't care what.
They're
fucked.
That's
And we thought they were fucked before because we've been saying it for a couple of months now that he was not happy, and they fucked this up by not addressing it at the end of last season, and it blew up in their face. And Stephen A. Smith, when Stephen A. Smith goes, I got my sources. I can issue. He does have sources because he wouldn't have that show.
But like, we didn't even need sources. We've been saying this since that playoff game when
This
he was
just
acting like an
proves
asshole.
why people should watch IDD because we're ahead of the curve, Tom.
Well, if you watch that playoff game, you realize something was wrong.
People forget that shit, though. They do. People forget.
Hard to forget that.
People were like, what the hell happened? People didn't remember it. They had to go, ESPN had to pull up the tape of what happened in the playoff game.
He was literally 20 yards from him
and
screaming
at him.
And Josh Allen was acting like he couldn't hear him.
And then the brass, who was there, because it was in Buffalo that game, thought this was not a problem. Oh, he'll go away and sit in the sun for a couple of months and he'll cool off.
Yeah.
Oh, he cooled off all right. Yeah. Came back with a sunburn. Came back with sunstroke. What he did.
Sunstroke.
Anyway,
Yikes on the baseball front.
Yeah, this is getting interesting by the day. Don't talk to me. Don't ruin my segment.
Red Sox down 7.
No one cares. I don't care.
Yankees lost to the Nats. They're 9th in a row.
10th.
No, I think that was
That's
9.
10.
10?
10.
Yikes.
The only thing we can all rejoice in is that the Spankies are sinking like the Titanic.
I don't like seeing them like this.
I love it so. I love it so.
It's like looking at the Mets.
No, it's not. The Mets don't have 27 World Series titles and haven't been the reason for the butt end of your team being a lot of jokes. But the Yankees have.
That's true.
Are you kidding me? I'd be reveling in this. Could be worse. It could be the Yankees. I love it.
Yeah, at least we sold at the fucking deadline.
Anyway, we're going to end this segment on that note. I don't know if there's going to be a segment 2. We'll see what he wants to do.
I don't think so.
But we might be back tomorrow night because you're off. No, you're home.
Well, no, so I'm going to be home tomorrow. Maybe Thursday night? How about we do Thursday night?
Thursday night.
And we can do a real.
This was real. This was good.
Oh, yeah,
this was
true.
football.
It's true.
This was week 2 recap.
No Yoda?
No Yoda.
Still
we did it
beautiful.
without Yoda. If that doesn't tell you the talent of this panel, we don't need Yoda.
We don't need PEDs.
We don't need Joe Boo. We don't need Betty. Betty took the night off. Betty's tired. Betty took a nap.
Soba tip.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll return on Thursday night. You guys enjoy Wet My Whistle Wednesday, and we will see. And by the way, Thursday night, the preseason, week 3 starts up again.
Oh, that's right.
This is the last week before. So this is where. By the way, all the dress rehearsals are this weekend. You're going to see all the 1s and the 2s.
Aaron Rodgers against
Aaron
Danny
Rodgers,
Jones.
yeah, you're going to see 1s this weekend, boys and girls. So this will be fun to watch. But anyway, we will take it back with you on Thursday night until in the redoubtable 1, the highly questionable 1. We will see you in about 48 hours. And again, don't be like Mr. Rogers, boys and girls. Stay loose.
Loose.